was the last time you thought about the possibility of God? Atheism is a growing trend worldwide, and that's no surprise. Many people have access to the internet and therefore to science. An increase in scientific knowledge has made us turn our backs on the possibility of religion. Growing up, I had never been challenged to believe in something other than science. I was taught about the Big Bang, how the universe was created, and then evolution, and that nothing came before or after death. It was all just silence. But how can we really know what's true? Well, regardless of what religious beliefs you have, I'm not here to challenge them. In fact, there is one universal thing about the world that we can mostly agree on, and that's what we think of nature. We all know how important nature is. Without it, we never would have survived or been the first ones to use rocks and create fire. We wouldn't have the resources to invent electricity or plastic or whatever other revolutionizing tools we made for ourselves. We as humans love to brag about our amazing feats of evolution, poetry, art, sports, science, all these amazing things we love to hold ourselves up against. But really, it's only been 1% of our entire population who have created the majority of our greatest creations. And part of this 1%, they were known as the Romantics. Let's talk about William Blake. He was a visionary poet and artist who challenged the conventions of his time. His work often explored spiritual and mystical themes, and he rejected the dominant modes of thought in both poetry and art during his lifetime. Blake's unique style, which combined poetry and visual art, had a significant influence on later generations of artists and writers. Blake was a really important figure in the Romantic movement, which emphasized individualism, emotion, and the natural world. His work helped to shape the Romantic aesthetic, and his influence can be seen in the works of later Romantic poets like Percy Shelley and John Keats. For now, I'll read you my favorite poem of his because I believe it still applies to today. I wander through each charted street, near where the charted Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of woe. In every cry of man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forged manacles I hear. How the chimney sweepers cry, every blackening church appalls, and the hapless soldier's sigh runs in blood down palace walls. But most through midnight streets I hear, how the youthful harlot's curse blasts the newborn infant's tear, and blights with plagues the marriage hearse. This poem, London, is a powerful critique of the social and political issues present in late 18th century London, but its themes are still relevant today. The poem highlights the sense of confinement and oppression felt by the city's inhabitants. We still see similar issues in many urban areas around the world. Poverty, inequality, and social injustice continue to plague many cities, and the effects of these issues can be seen on the faces of the people who live there. In many ways, London serves as a reminder of the importance of acknowledging and addressing the social and political issues that affect our communities. While the specific circumstances may have changed, the theme and insights of this poem continue to resonate. According to the Romantics, the solution was back to nature, because nature was seen as pure and a spiritual source of renewal. It was also a way out of the fumes of the growing industrial centers for the new industrial rich. The Romantics saw nature as a source of beauty and inspiration. The natural world offered a wealth of sensory experiences that could stimulate the imagination and evoke strong emotions. Nature was seen as a symbol of the divine, a reflection of a higher spiritual reality that transcended the mundane world of human affairs. They saw nature as a refuge from the noise, pollution, and stress of modern life, and as a way to reconnect with a simpler, more authentic way of living. Nature represented an escape from the artificiality of modern civilization and a return to a more natural and authentic way of being. The Romantics believed that nature had a transformative power, that it could heal the soul and offer a sense of renewal and rebirth. They saw nature as a source of spiritual and emotional nourishment, a way to restore a sense of balance and harmony to a world that had become fragmented and disenchanted. With all this in mind, let's look at where we are today. Bustling cities, crowded news articles, world-ending news every other week on the media. and years of screen addiction piled up to make you get to where you are now. If we remind ourselves that history repeats itself, then maybe we should refer to the Romantics for their guidance. Nature truly is healing, spiritually, emotionally, and religiously. All of this should make you wonder, are you spending enough time outside?